This is 1,262 days, and some things are so strange. We have been going through the open records. Just really, the main one that I really want to talk about. There's so much. Okay, there's over 800 pages. So, but the one that I really want to talk about, I think I need to stress, was the very first one that we did, as far as that we received 2 days ago. And it is the 60 page from the officer of the governor about the August 3rd, 2019 mass shooting case known as the Walmart mass shooting case in El Paso. And really a short period of time there with Yovan Rosales. And wow, it gives us so much information, and very important information, that because we have an open records request that has not come back yet. We have other confirmation from our other connections, because there are people that are sick and tired of this, you know, sick and tired of this, that are inside of Fort Bliss, that are in El Paso, that saw the crime going on. And I can tell you right now, loads of people, when we got there, they were shaking. It's that, and I don't even know if it's fear anymore. I don't know if you can call it fear. It's shaking because you are face to face with such a huge criminal. Even though it's a small group of people, the level of evil is so uh, is so dark, is so bad, because their hobbies are these crimes. Let me go and make sure that I'm on Facebook, that I'm live, because I think this is so important to hear. I don't know if you can hear me well. Let's see if everything is working. Can everybody hear me? Yeah, I think it's okay. Okay, so yeah, let me know, because this is really important information, and you are the key. Your shares are the key to all of this. But the level of evil is so bad. Um, they're never satisfied. You can do narcotics trafficking, and that's not satisfying. So then you can do uh, weapons trafficking, even grenades, um, and that's not satisfying. And so then you do child sex trafficking, right? You get into pedophilia and do the child sex trafficking, and then that's not satisfying. So then you have to do the child pornography, which is child torture, and that's not satisfying. So then you have to bring migrants in to do human trafficking, and whatnot to them, right? And the level of evil just gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and and it gets higher and higher and higher, and it becomes then very political, because the amount of crime is so vast that you have to have people in the CID, like Dirty Agent Marlon Soto, like Dirty Agent Tavita Nusa. You have to have those people. You have to have people in the IG, right? Like Dirty Lieutenant General Donna Martin. She's so dirty, okay? And they're in El Paso. you have to have people in HRC, okay? And I'm not at liberty to release that name yet, who place people in these certain positions, right? Um, like James Hart at the VA, who has access to the files, to social security numbers, to names, lots of names, and their medical health, right? And their military history. Then you have Park University, of course, and you have the DES, the to breach the security. You know, it wasn't, as far as a criminal cabal goes, the duty for Thomas Kane to secure Fort Bliss. It was to unsecure Fort Bliss, you see, to unsecure it, to manipulate the videotapes, so that they can get away with whatever was happening at the emergency intake center, what was happening with the tactical move storage units, whatever was happening in the arms rooms of all of the smuggling and everything. I mean, his job was to unsecure for those privileged people, right, that are doing this criminal activity, and to not go after, hit one of his guards' stepdaughters, 14 years old, living in the barracks being pimped out, right? That's on the taxpayer dime, by the way, because she's living in the barracks, right? Being pimped out. And the DES is not doing anything about it. And then the command's not doing anything about it. And IG's not doing anything about it. And here comes Richard putting in these reports, because we were told at the rallies that the IG, quote, the IG were all over the barracks because of Halliday. The IG were all over the barracks because of Halliday. So, you have someone that says, wait a minute, we have a lot of criminal activity going on here. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we are a military installation. Maybe our oath is to protect the Constitution, which is a legal document, right? It is the people and the land, how we are supposed to manage the people and the land. Maybe we should do our duty. Maybe we should have some integrity here. And what do they do to him? They murder him after they continuously and severely retaliate against him. And now it was so obvious that they wiped his record from the retaliation that he suffered, because they don't want any evidence of what they had done to him on record. They're trying to manipulate history. But they did do it. And they seem to have done the same thing before. Richard wasn't the first. Remember, I've been saying that. Richard wasn't the first. They did the same thing to Glendon Oakley Jr. Right? He was in the mall. He heard the shots in the mall. He saw the M4s in the hands of mall cops. No way were they mall cops. The parents did not want to run in chance getting hit by a bullet in the mall. That means this was not a lone wolf narrative that Texas Tribune or El Paso Matters wants to feed you to make you believe it. Just like they try to make you believe this whole COVID nonsense. And there's more. They just feed us lies, right? But you have Glendon Oakley Jr. eyewitness account that things were going on in the mall and that children were running around. And he had to get them out of the line of fire. And he couldn't get all of them, he said. So that means there was lines of fire in the mall. That means that these children were at risk in the mall. And that was admitted to days and days after, even when President Trump came and gave him an award. But you see, all of that crime became very powerful because you have to control the DES. You have to control the CID. You have to control the DA, which is an elected position. You have to control the AG. What is the DA? The DA are the prosecutors. The district attorney is the prosecutors. They're the ones that have to identify the crime, identify the criminals, document the crime and the criminals, and then prosecute the crime and the criminals, right? That's why we pay them. That's why they get millions and millions of dollars. But for the August 3rd, 2019 case, it's been millions and millions of dollars, and now we have this little bit, only 60 pages of open records, and it screams negligence. It screams politics. It screams like, political infighting. It's like a gang war. And deception. And betrayal. And it does point out and confirm that John Briggs, the assistant district attorney, was in charge of all murder cases, and that his supervisor, right? His supervisor, who testified against him. So John Briggs' supervisor, Scott Ferguson, right? Division Chief Scott Ferguson. And I'm trying to understand all of this. So, if you're very well versed in the DA office, please let me know. Please let me know, because I want to get to the truth. And from what we understand, Scott Ferguson told John Briggs, the assistant district attorney under Jaime Esparza, under Yvonne Rosales, under Bill Hicks, but told him that 90% of his time should be spent on 2 death penalty, death row cases. Okay? One being the August 3rd, 2019 mass shooting case. And the other was another brutal murder, and both of those cases were badly done. Badly done. And the Walmart case, the murderer for one of them walked. This Walmart case, the August 3rd, 2019, is so badly done. Okay, like if we were tightwads, right? And said, John Briggs, you've got to run that that case, right? Like teen farm Richard Halliday on a shoestring and a dime, right? With no big staff, with no tools, no access to all of these great tools, law enforcement, security, um, uh, uh, intelligence files, and all of that, with all the connections. You have to run it like that. Then maybe I can see why things would be so badly done, right? So badly done. I mean, we're at uh, over 3 years, and it has taken, because of the sabotage and sabotage and sabotage in our son's case. We've had to press forward and press forward through every wall, every muck, every clogged up gear, whatever, um, through everything to get the evidence, to get the people's names, to get the background checks, to understand who's who, what is going on in Richard's case. All right? And we've done it. We've done it. The Walmart case, the August 3rd, 2019, is over 4 years old. And John Briggs has had millions of dollars, a large staff, access to all kinds of intelligence, all kinds of right? Experience, blah, blah, blah. And he hasn't done it at all. It's clogged up. He's supposed to be in charge of murder cases. He let a murderer, because of his dereliction of duty, let a simple case get botched up and the murderer walk away. And this is what is happening with Patrick Crucius, who is supposed to be serving 90 consecutive life sentences. But the state case is intertwined with the federal case. And with all the money, all the resources, everything we have given to John Briggs, he has mucked up this case, which means he's mucked up Richard's case. He has left it in pieces. And those are not my words. That is Loretta Lynn Hewitt. That is Yvonne Rosales. That is Scott Ferguson. That is this is not done, this is not done, this is not, why not? 90% of his time was to be spent on this case and one other case with all of those resources. And he is mucking it up, sabotaging it, gumming up the cogs of justice, and making this case go on and on and on. That Patrick Crucius is going to be, they're going to say, well, he can't get a fair trial in El Paso because everyone knows the case. And okay, he's autistic. We know that they have lied about the narrative. We know that there is more than one shooter. We absolutely know that by all the eyewitness testimony. My goodness. John Briggs is trying to feed us that there's only one lone wolf shooter, when absolutely there's mega eyewitness testimonies. Even the El Paso Police Department knows it, that there were multiple shooters, that something really crazy went on, and yet John Briggs is not worried about the community of El Paso, the community of Mexico, of Chihuahua, Mexico, Juarez, Mexico. I mean, they have it so bad over there. Now he wants to make it so bad in El Paso with these shootings and murderers and all of this, and people getting cut up, their heart ripped out of them, everything like this, what's going on. And this mass shooting, and now he wants it in the El Paso community, because who is he answering to? Because it's not the people of El Paso. Because the people of El Paso has given him everything. And in 4 years, with everything, he has done less than what we have done in just a couple weeks, finding out that Richard's case is intertwined with the Walmart case. And we have found out a lot of things, and we're not at liberty to say at this moment, because it involves a lot of people's names. And names have been stolen. Names have been stolen and used and everything. So, you have to be really careful with all these names. Richard's identity has been stolen. Glendon Oakley Jr.'s name and identity and his social security number has been stolen and being used. Same thing with Richard. And these seem to lead to 3905 Bliss Avenue, 3705 Bliss Avenue, and checking all the victims, checking all the associates of the victims. That is what John Briggs should have been doing. Who are the associates of the victims? What is going on here? Because in just a few weeks, without the monies, without the tools, without the large staff, Team Find Richard Halliday, and I met after 3 years of investigating our own disappearance and murder, we have gotten apt at investigating. But, we don't have those tools. We have Team Find Richard Halliday. And we have absolutely uncovered enough evidence that debunks the narrative of the lone wolf Patrick Crucius shooting. That Patrick Crucius absolutely was with others and had help. Absolutely. There's not a doubt in my mind. Because there's eyewitness testimonies. Don't believe me. But yet, one of those eyewitnesses and more have also lost their lives. Why? And this is what John Briggs should have been doing. But who is he working for? And absolutely, he knew about Richard and Richard's case. And Richard's case is intertwined in the one case that he was, well, there was another, but after after he lost that other case, I mean, to really garbage work from him. I mean, you know, and why was he was fired, rightfully fired, but then he was brought back on by Bill Hicks, and we have absolutely voiced ourselves to them. Why is he brought back on? He is a failed assistant district attorney. He's a failed attorney to be in charge of death row or capital punishment cases. Absolutely. And those 60 pages, with the Madranos and earlier today, and happy Epiphany. So yeah, Christmas tide is just about over, but the wise men just got there. They just got there. They followed the star. And they're not late. They're just in time. And this is why we're so thankful for all of you that come on here and start asking questions, getting caught up. You're just in time. You're never late when it comes to justice. We need to push forward to get justice for Richard, to get justice for Glendon Oakley Jr., to get justice for, I believe, Asia Graham. I don't think everything came out with that. And that's all going to be made clear as this all unravels, and it's unraveling. Because there absolutely is some kind of cartel gang thing going on here. And it has infiltrated our military installation. Absolutely. So that is really the shocking. There's so many things because of this Judge Madrano gag order. It makes him look like a really bad judge. Okay? I don't know if he's a really bad judge, but he looks like a really bad judge. Because it doesn't make sense that he would issue something that seems so illegal, so against our Constitution, that would hurt moving the case being taken forward, right? He's, putting roadblocks in for the case to get to the truth, to have an actual hearing for the case. So, please correct me if I misunderstand. I'm not an attorney. I'm reading through this information together with Team Farm Richard Halliday and this other Curtis Cox seems to have been trying to make things right in this whole situation. But I'll come back. He's a player in all of this. Absolutely a player. And we're getting many names. Many names. Another death. Let me see if I can tell you. Yeah. Ricardo Martin Salas Porasol. He supposedly is the husband of Maria Eugenia Lagaretta Roth. Yeah. She was a victim, supposedly a victim of August 3rd, 2019. We know that she was found dead, and um, on December 28th or 29th, I believe the article was the 29th of December, they reported that Ricardo had a gunshot wound to his head at a cinema. That's in 2020. So 6 months later. That's strange. And Glendon Oakley Jr. dying in April of 2020. That's strange. And Richard reporting to absolutely, uh, absolutely murdered. And there's more. So this became very political. That's why Loretta Lynn Hewitt called Bill Hicks out when it comes to politics, that he was more concerned about the politics, keeping his place. Why? To sabotage certain cases? Because that absolutely seems like what's happening right now. But she called Bill Hicks out on his politics, that his job was to keep that DA office, to keep that seat. We couldn't have another Yvonne Rosales coming in that was not controlled by whoever controls Bill Hicks, whoever controls John Briggs. So, yeah, I think that is very obvious once you start reading through everything. And I will tell you, I'm absolutely convinced at this point, because of the actions of John Briggs through the paperwork that we're reading, these open records that we receive back, and then, the next few days we'll really go through the 800 pages for Richard. We've already gone through it, but we really need to comb through it. So these 60 pages, they are very, very telling about John Briggs, and there's only one explanation, and that is he has some other boss other than the American people and his oath. Okay? And that boss is up to no good. Because John Briggs absolutely, with reading this, is up to no good. So that's very, very clear. And yeah, so we'll keep going, and we'll put some of the names out as we confirm the names. But I just gave you the two, Ricardo and Maria. So we'll keep going. And we've got to get true justice here. So thank you so much. Thank you, Anicia, for coming on with your prayers and your love. Thank you so much. And please share. Share this everywhere. It's very important. That's the power. That is what compels them to answer the open records request. That is what compels them to do anything, is multiple people sharing and being aware of what is going on. That's the oversight. And where is Veronica Escobar anyway? Where is she? I can tell you this. What I know, what is happening and what has happened, she does not care about our troops. She does not care about our children. She does not care about our women. She does not care about our men. She does not care about Hispanics. No way. She does not care about the migrants. No way. Because no one that would care would just do nothing. and let all of this happen in such a dangerous way. So yeah, thank you so much. Okay, everyone, God bless you, and please share, and I will be back on tomorrow.